But that lady, that new press secretary, she's a
that
gangster.
video, dude.
She's a gangster. They're prepared. And you know why they're prepared? Because they're trying to play gotcha.
Yep.
So she played gotcha with them. She checkmated them.
She came in there with that fucking Elon Musk flamethrower.
Play that video.
Watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
Well, it finally happened. Karoline Leavitt, bold new voice in politics and a loud defender of free speech, just dropped a legal bomb on The View. A $500 million defamation case that's left liberal hosts stunned, like their lattes got laced with honesty. Yep, $500 million. Because if you smear someone's name on national TV, don't act shocked when they return with a lawsuit strong enough to shake the stage.
Like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
I think clarify, she's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what...
Say what you want about Karoline, but giving up isn't in her playbook. She's going after a show that's basically turned into a drama club with ads in between. And let's be real. If people attack you just for supporting Trump or standing firm in politics, you better show up with proof and a list. That's exactly what she's walking in with. Receipts, records, and zero fear.
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that. And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC.
Enter Joe Rogan, the smooth-headed king of podcast world and master of raw conversation. From his online studio, where real talk still lives, he spotted the media chaos right away. To Rogan, this wasn't random drama. It was classic old-school media tactics aimed at silencing anyone brave enough to step beyond the safe political script.
That new press secretary, she's a
that
gangster.
video, dude.
She's a gangster. Have you seen that video?
You've never seen someone more prepared for a question in your life, Jamie.
Have you seen that?
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
Small point on that. Not the big point, but small point. She was so prepared for
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, she's supposed to be prepared.
That's why I
Jamie.
said you've never seen someone
You know
more
why?
prepared.
For that.
They're
that specific
prepared.
question.
Yeah.
While the ladies of The View clutched their...
While the hosts of The View clung to their mugs and threw around the word dangerous like a trending hashtag, Rogan cut through the noise. No fancy set or fake applause, just a mic, clear thoughts, and maybe some elk jerky on the side. His message? Direct and sharp. This lawsuit isn't a sign of weakness. It's a warning. A bold line drawn in the sand. You can't trash someone's name just to boost ratings with fake outrage.
You heard that type of violent, enticing rhetoric from our side of the aisle, from Republican leaders on Capitol Hill, I think there would be a lot more outrage in this room today. It's unacceptable, the comments that have been made by these Democrat leaders, and frankly, they don't even know what...
Let's break down what actually sparked this storm. It all kicked off with a segment where The View's self-declared experts, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, and whichever stand-in wasn't busy in wardrobe, took easy shots at Leavitt's politics and passed. Not thoughtful critique, pure mockery. It was the usual daytime smear campaign, wrapped in jokes, studio laughs, and fancy coffee mugs. Joy, as always, mistook loudness for logic and called Karoline dangerous. Dangerous for what? Speaking her mind with clarity? If strong opinions are now threats, then anyone who's read the Constitution must be dangerous too. And Whoopi, she offered her classic mix of vague wisdom and sarcasm, like a daily horoscope delivered in a hybrid car. Then there was Sunny, who waved around her legal background just long enough to mess it up, like someone Googling defamation law between bites of salad.
Joy Behar went after Joe Rogan on The View, and he fired back spectacularly.
You're worried about losing your job, and you're worried about podcasts taking over, and who's the source of news, and we said Donald Trump was Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us, and he won, and this is and Joe Rogan believes...
That's when Karoline took a stand. No complaining, no spinning, just action. She got legal help and pushed back hard. Joe Rogan saw it right away. To him, it was clear. Someone finally challenging media voices who think screen time means they're always right. He called The View what it really is, a bubbly echo chamber filled with weak opinions and even weaker facts. It's the kind of show where truth gets lost and cheap jokes replace real context, letting them discuss politics like giving world issues to a tipsy brunch squad with Wi-Fi.
And you know why they're prepared? Because they're trying to play gotcha.
Yep.
So she played gotcha with them. She checkmated them.
She came in there with that fucking Elon Musk flamethrower.
Play that video.
Meanwhile, as Karoline's legal team was probably typing up motions in Comic Sans just for laughs, Joe Rogan was cracking jokes, maybe mid-kettlebell swing, calling the whole thing courtroom theater for the social media age. To him, it was all a show, part drama, part gossip, with more hashtags than talent. He gave Karoline credit for hitting back after The View's lazy smear job. Say what you want, sure. She mocks the woke crowd often, but this wasn't fake outrage. It was smart. If The View wants to throw punches, they better learn how to dodge.
People, even in the legacy media, even the Trump haters, they will tell you the approach has been much different. Not just from me, but the entire White House. Oh, absolutely. They come in my office every day and they'll admit that off the record. Oh. Maybe not on the record, but they will say they appreciate the access and the transparency and the preparation that goes into my briefings and everybody on our team, by the way, who goes out to the...
Rogan didn't just nod in support. He set the whole thing ablaze. Good for her, he said, then tore into The View like only he can. To him, the show feels like daytime TV collided with a therapy circle with facts left outside. He ripped apart their usual playbook. Shout until someone backs down, claim victimhood, then pose like heroes of a fight they started. It's like the cast of Mean Girls grew older, got TV contracts, and skipped learning how to grow up.
Strange show, but it's fun to watch. It's just fun to watch them.
It's good entertainment.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Well, they're just, it's interesting because I think Sunny's very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured.
Right.
That's what it is. I think the other ones, there's a couple of the other ones, don't have to name any names, are just very dull-minded. But I think Sunny's not one of them. I think she's...
Yeah.
From DeSantis to any dad in a red hat grabbing coffee, The View has made one thing clear: disagree with their brunch table rules, and you're instantly the villain. If Joy Behar isn't nodding along, you're either crazy, clueless, or seconds from being canceled before the next tampon commercial. Their idea of debate: cry near a candle and call it justice. But Rogan? He's the opposite of The View. The guy who'll invite both Bernie Sanders and Alex Jones, toss elk on the fire, and let everyone speak. Camouflage on, conspiracies at a casual 3, still the only adult in the room. So when he saw Karoline file that lawsuit, he didn't blink. He laughed, then clapped, because like many of us, he got it. Someone finally drew the line. Let's be honest, The View isn't 60 Minutes. It's not news. It's pretend court in cozy sweaters. Think hot flashes, meet bad improv night, minus logic or prep. The moment someone dares to challenge them, it turns into a holy war. Karoline stepped in knowing she was the target, but she didn't cry foul. She flipped the script. This wasn't drama. It was strategy, and it just might cash in big.
People want us divided, and they aren't just here in this country. They're foreign adversaries who are infiltrating our social media because it is prudent for us to stay that way. So when you see something that really pisses you off, you should triple check that one.
Yeah. But I think that's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
we're checked by everybody.
Yeah. I mean, if we're wrong, we have, the legal note here.
The human legal
But we went from Walter Cronkite basically to this guy, Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons. He believes in dragons.
Did you triple source that?
Joe Rogan saw it clearly. This lawsuit wasn't about rewriting laws. It was about grabbing the mic and refusing to back down. Karoline Leavitt didn't just show up to court. She entered like it was a cage match, with subpoenas sharper than punches. And Rogan, he didn't just agree. He smiled. He's watched The View take cheap shots for years, all from a cushy studio, hiding behind just our opinion as if that's a shield. They toss out accusations like party favors, then play victim the second someone hits back with more than sarcasm. Call them out. That's sexism. Disagree? You're anti-free speech. Clap along. You're suddenly heroic. But when Karoline answered, not with headlines or hashtags, but real legal ammo, the hosts reacted like she'd stormed in waving the Constitution on fire. Suddenly, it was all dramatic gasps and faux shock, as if their favorite mug had been insulted. Rogan didn't just approve. He backed her fully. Because if The View wants to keep turning minor criticism into emotional theater, they better get ready. The drama they spin for ratings can and will come back around. And this time, it showed up in a courtroom with receipts.
The show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies infested hen house.
Let's be real. The View still can't decide if it wants to be a news show or a group therapy session for ex-TikTokers with media diplomas. Half the time, it feels like a self-help seminar run by people who only ever help their PR teams. Soft jabs dressed as life advice, emotional speeches about tweets, and just enough drama to fog up their studio lights. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan's in Austin, sipping mushroom tea like it's medicine, watching all of it like it's the season finale of Real Housewives of Political Meltdowns. Karoline might not win the lawsuit, and honestly, that might not even matter, because she's already changed the game. She's not the victim anymore. She's the one shaking things up. The woman who walked into a daytime drama pit, sued the cast, and walked out without a scratch. Rogan gets it. He sees The View scrambling like they're reading lines for a school play called Meet the Press, the messy edition. This isn't just about defamation. It's about blowing up the old rules. And Karoline lit the match. Joe's not mad the lawsuit happened. He's mad it didn't happen sooner. Every time the hosts cry truth teller while throwing verbal bombs, their credibility slips faster than a flickering ring light. Rogan, the guy who built his brand calling out nonsense, now gets to enjoy this chaos with a Spotify deal and a front row seat. This isn't just politics, it's viral content. And Joe knows exactly which side's winning the algorithm.
Yes.
And that's their audience.
Yes. Well, their audience is not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen audiences before for TV shows, but a lot of them are paid. They're paid to be there. So, because they have to guarantee that there's going to be people there. So there's services that you hire. And when the show gets really, really popular, you know, like Letterman or something like that, obviously it has its own fan base.
Right.
And those people will try to get tickets before anybody else does. And in that case, they probably don't need to use a service anymore. They just get actual fans. But arguably, like, the fans, the real fans of The View that are like, oh, these ladies are on point. Most of those people can't leave the house. Like, they're probably immobile.
Right.
Let's be honest. This isn't some noble debate. It's reality TV with courtrooms and a big side of ego roast. No one here is chasing truth. They're chasing clout like it's on a Target clearance rack. It's not about values. It's about screen time, Twitter buzz, and hanging onto what little spotlight they've got left. Karoline isn't just pushing back. She's flipping the whole table like it's an episode of Real Housewives. And Joe Rogan, he's right beside her, handing over the match, the gas can, and maybe a protein shake for good measure. Because in modern America, who needs respectful dialogue when you can just drop a lawsuit in Comic Sans? Why argue when you can brand yourself as the bold truth teller rising from a firestorm of sarcasm? Karoline gets the views, the donations, and another invite from Fox News. The View gets the blowback, the rage clicks, and Joy Behar's 19th on-air breakdown. And Rogan, he racks up streams, gains listeners, and finds another reason to go on a 3-hour rant about how the world's gone nuts, tying it all back to elk DMT and why Rome fell apart.
Goldberg's, like, did you see what she did to that Staten Island bakery?
Yeah.
No.
Crazy.
What?
So
She ate
Staten
everything.
Island Bakery, their boiler went down, and she placed an order of cupcakes for her birthday. And they couldn't do
Hold
the order.
on. I can't imagine yet how this would go back. Okay, go ahead.
So she places this order. They say, we can't promise you that we can do this because our boiler is down. So we can't fulfill this order. And so then the next day, the boiler's back up. She has someone else call the same bakery, and they get the order in because now the boiler's up. She claims the reason why they didn't take her order is because they didn't like her politics. And so she says this on The View. So then the bakery has a press conference where they say, we've been in business for 150 years. This is not what happened at all. We don't discriminate against anybody regardless of anything. We just had a problem with our boiler. And she's singling out a family-run business. And then there's a line around the block for the bakery.
This isn't democracy. It's courtroom cosplay in daylight. And Joe, he's the jester who sees through the act. The View talks big on inclusion, but shuts down anything that makes them slightly uncomfortable. Karoline calls it out. And just like that, she's villain number 1. But Rogan? He's the only one laughing while the others pretend they're having real debate. Now we're watching subpoenas fly like party confetti. The View sinks deeper into its outrage, while Rogan turns the whole mess into podcast gold. It's a 3-ring circus of clashing beliefs. And Joe just ran out of popcorn because he sold it all. The real winner, not Karoline, not even the lawyers. It's the bald guy with the mic, the laugh, and zero filter, turning chaos into top streaming content. Because if this elk-flavored drama taught us anything,